Greetings YouTube! Recently someone asked me a question about which 3 melee weapons I would want in the event of a zombie apocalypse. So let me preface this by saying that there will never be a zombie apocalypse. Walkers shall never roam the earth. It is a pure and absolute fantasy, always has been, always will be. And in the event that such a fantastical thing were to happen, I'm going to be completely honest that while melee weapons are important, I would want to have firearms. Specifically, I would like to probably carry a .357 Magnum revolver as a sidearm, a lever action rifle also chambered in .357 that gives me ammo compatibility, and then a 12 gauge pump shotgun so that I could do both shot and deer slugs. And you might be asking, well, why not a Glock? Or why not an AR-15? Because I feel that civilians should not possess semi-automatic firearms. And I'm going to be consistent in that particular theme in this event. So here we get to see my fabulous rainbow towel, which I picked up at a thrift shop, both because it made me smile and because we need a new towel for the cat carrier, because the last one got trashed. So this is going to be going into the cat carrier, and I'm using it to hide my designs while I start the video. And hopefully I can get this off the table without actually yanking the objects off of it and onto the floor. And I'm going to show you a tool and then the 3 melee weapons in question. So let's see if I can get this off. Oh, here, yep. There we go. Alrighty, got that off without pulling anything off the floor. So the first thing I have here is a Pry Bar, and this is like one of my favorite designs as far as durability goes. This is kind of a brutal beast. This end is a little on the thick side, I freely admit that, but I mean, that's an easy fix if you don't like it. I personally have not had the need to use this, but if I were to find myself in a situation where I would probably grind that down, make that a little bit on the thinner side. But this side is just fine. This is a ZGB Pry Bar, which I picked up at Ocean State Job Lots, and I think I paid $8 for it when I bought it. And I think it's just a great little design. It's compact. It gives you multiple options for different angles. It's got the classic nail puller built in there, and it could also function as a hammer if you needed it. So very important, and the kind of tool that I think would be vital to someone surviving, particularly if you're trying to walk your way out of a survival situation and you may need to break into things. This is the thing you're going to need to break into stuff. The next tool I have here is a machete. It is a classic. This particular machete is the Kershaw Camp 18. They also sell Camp 14s and Camp 12s, both of which are awesome as well. This is one of the most attractive and comfortable machetes I have ever had a chance to handle. It also has a nice sheath with a reversible strap, so if you are right-handed or left-handed, this strap can be moved so that you can use this in your preferred side carry. So that is awesome, and it has a belt loop. This would be very easy to also put on a backpack or sling with a strap across your crossbody, because the sheath has numerous slots for webbing. So this would be very easy to rig up the way you want to carry it. And if you wanted to like belt it down to your leg, that is also a very easy option if you want to have it by your side and you don't want it flopping around. So a machete is both a tool as well as a weapon, and the 18-inch blade on this one gives you some nice reach, so you can chop brush, light wood. I would recommend carrying a folding saw. There are some really nice light models out there, far safer than trying to harvest wood with an axe or a machete. But for brush clearing, this would be awesome, and it is a useful weapon both against walkers as well as predatory humans. And this particular model has through holes here and here for setting up a lanyard where you want it. A very nice option. And again, this could also function as a as a backup weapon or tertiary weapon, but I would not recommend it. It's not a very long range. I don't want to be that close to either a walker or a human. Now, the next if I had to carry a two-handed weapon, this is going to be probably my preference. It's a very simple design. It's a baseball bat with some very large spikes on it, or blades. Very good at penetration of both flesh and bone. You could also carry a two-handed machete or like a brush hook, or something like that. A Pullman axe might not be bad. Something like that. This is lighter than an axe. It's much lighter than an axe. So you're going to get a lot more speed on this thing. Obviously, I made this one myself. So that is, it has a certain connection to me. I happen to really like this particular design. I was very happy with the way it came out. It very much came out exactly the way I envisioned it, and that's always nice. Now, the last thing I'm going to choose, I'm going to have to lay down because it's big, is this. This is a Trident. It's on a standard tool handle. This particular, that center rod right there, that center threaded rod goes about 8 or 9 inches inside the handle, and it is epoxied in place. It is not going anywhere. If I would actually redo those points if I were really going to consider this, because I didn't do as good a job on those points at the time. My skill with my angle grinder was not what it is now. I could do a better job now than I did when I made this. But the reason I want this as opposed to, say, a spear is that this gives me standoff capability. That, particularly if you're traveling with a companion armed with one of those or with one of those is going to be able to take out a walker a lot more easily if you are pinning the thing in the chest and holding it at arm's length. You can do this, reduce the mobility of the enemy, and then you take the enemy out. And this gives you the ability to keep something at an arm's length from you while a companion assists you in keeping it from getting any closer. And again, it still works against humans. You hit somebody in the torso with this, or in like in the head or something, they're not getting back up. It's that simple. This is very dangerous. And this is actually, this design right here is what made me a true maker, because I made one of these and I sold it. So in my book, if you're selling something you've made, you're a maker, and I am a maker. To be honest, I pretty much consider myself a junksmith, more at heart than anything. So there you go. These are the melee style weapons that I would want to carry, particularly if I were going to be walking out. It would be these two right here, along with a folding saw, and of course at least 2 knives. But I always have a knife on me, at least 1, sometimes 2. And if I had to carry something, the spear itself, the trident rather, would act both as a walking stick and as a backup. I would not carry both of those if I were walking out of an environment. It would be one or the other. And between the two, as much as I love that War Club, because it is wicked, wicked awesome, and I'm very pleased with the design, that, I think, is going to be more useful to me, both as a tool and as a defensive item. So, I hope that you found this interesting, and I don't remember who it was that asked. I'll have to see if I can look that up. But I hope that this meets your criteria.